Hey everybody, this is George from DinosaurGeorge.com. If you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, DinosaurGeorge.com, click on the Ask Dinosaur George page and fill out the form and submit it. I will try my best to answer your questions, but we get thousands of these a month. There's just no way I have the time to answer all of them. Secondly, while you're there, visit my store and follow me on Twitter and Facebook and scout out the website. It's got some cool stuff on it. All right, let's get started. Travis from Orange County, California says, hey again, George. Hey Travis, good to hear from you. He says, I was thrilled when you answered my last question in episode 62. It was my pleasure, Travis. I'm glad you wrote to me. He said, on to my question for you. I'm doing some personal research with some friends of mine at a website called Jurassic Park Legacy. He says, where you are now something of a celebrity, by the way. Well, that's great. I appreciate that very much, Travis. I went to that website and I checked it out. It's really cool. It's a really impressive website. I don't know who's doing it, but it's an impressive website. I like it. Anyway, he says, basically the idea of the website is that dinosaurs never went extinct 65 million years ago, and basically it's hypothetical. And he wants to know what my opinion would be, what would have happened if the non-avian dinosaurs never went extinct. Well, that's really cool, Travis. That's a good question. Here's what I think would happen. I think the raptors would have continued to become much more advanced. I think they absolutely would have been the most advanced life forms on Earth. I think mammals would have been relegated to remaining small and probably being nocturnal. I don't think they would have been able to come out of hiding with dinosaurs still roaming the earth. So I believe you would still see dinosaurs ruling the planet, but I think there would be a change. I think the herbivorous dinosaurs would find that speed would be more effective as a way to deal with these advanced raptors than sheer size. So perhaps we would see the hadrosaurs and maybe even the sauropods becoming smaller and relying on speed. I think you would see an advance in weaponry, anti-raptor weaponry, and that to me means you'd see a whole lot of armored dinosaurs. Armored dinosaurs really stood the best chance against raptors, and so I think you'd see an explosion of armored dinosaurs because they would be the most successful herbivores. I don't think you would see a lot of the big, huge predators anymore. I think Tyrannosaurus wouldn't be as prevalent, mostly because if in fact the herbivores are getting smaller, giants like Tyrannosaurus would have limited opportunities to catch bigger prey, and to feed that massive body, they've got to catch bigger prey. So I think you might see dinosaurs becoming smaller to some degree. I think raptors would take over. They would absolutely be kings of the world. And I think armored dinosaurs, or at least heavy weaponed dinosaurs, would be much more prevalent on the planet. All right, Angelo from Brooklyn, New York says, Dear Dinosaur George, who do you think would win in a one-on-one battle between Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus? And then Angelo says, I know Spinosaurus was larger, but Carcharodontosaurus was more suited to bring down larger prey. So what is your belief? Well, Angelo, I think you already know the answer to that, and I agree with you, and that is, I think Carcharodontosaurus has advantages over Spinosaurus. Now, Spinosaurus is a big bad dude, but I think Carcharodontosaurus' sheer mass, musculature, and skull design would have made him a much more efficient fighter, if that's the right use of words, against a dinosaur like Spinosaurus. Justin from Casper, Wyoming. Justin, I really like Wyoming. I love that place. He said, who would win in a fight to the death between two Albertosaurus or one T-Rex? Well, a one-on-one fight between Tyrannosaurus Rex and Albertosaurus, no match, Justin. Albertosaurus would be slaughtered. But when you bring in a second partner, you change the complexity of the battle. And what that means is even Tyrannosaurus' size doesn't offset being attacked from two different spots at one time. You only can protect one part of your body when you're being attacked. And if these Albertosaurus worked in harmony and attacked simultaneously, then I don't think Tyrannosaurus would stand a chance against them. I think it'd be a long battle. They'd have to inflict a tremendous amount of wounds to ever get him down. But I do think that that's an uneven fight, and it would benefit the Albertosaurus. All right, Michael from Quincy, Massachusetts. Michael says, I have two questions. Okay, Michael, each question will cost you $50,000. So I'm going to answer both because I've got my eye on this new Ferrari. Okay, here we go, Michael. Michael wants to know, who was the largest pterosaur ever found? Well, I know Quetzalcoatlus is absolutely a giant. Now, I do know that somewhere, and I want to say it was Romania or someplace, they found another giant pterosaur. I can't remember its name. They claimed was even bigger than Quetzalcoatlus. But I've not read enough to know how much of that pterosaur they found and whether or not it is bigger than Quetzalcoatlus. So I'm going to go with Quetzalcoatlus for now. His second question says, did Allosaurus have feathers? You know, Michael, I don't think Allosaurus had feathers like a bird would have feathers. If Allosaurus and some of these other giant theropods had feathers, my guess would be that they would be used for display. Feathers that would be around the face, maybe on the back of the neck, maybe on the top of the skull, maybe on the arms, maybe on the tail. These feathers would probably be used to highlight certain areas and to draw attention to themselves. I don't think the females may have had those kind of feathers. They wouldn't have needed them necessarily. I'm talking about the big theropods now. They didn't need feathers for body temperature regulation, I don't believe. You don't see a feathered elephant walking around. So I think that when you become as big as they were, your sheer mass was enough to regulate your body temperature, or at least to keep it up. So if they had feathers, if Allosaurus did, my guess would be they would be kind of strange looking little appendages. And here comes another airplane. Isn't this crazy? I moved to a totally different part of the city and I got an airplane flying right over my head. I must be cursed. Either that or I just like airplanes and I think it's kind of cool. All right, let's keep going. Finally, Daniel from Timmins, Ontario wants to know, what is my opinion of the BBC's Walking with Dinosaurs? Daniel, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved the television series and I even loved the live series, the on-stage show. I absolutely loved it. I think Walking with Dinosaurs changed the way we look at dinosaurs, at least we meaning the general public. I think that they put a human quality to these dinosaurs that prior had never been done. All the books we used to read, the shows we used to see showed dinosaurs as being these non-thinking, mundane animals that just existed. And I think what I really like about Walking with Dinosaurs is that they kind of added some personality to them. And that, in my opinion, is why I love it so much. And the animation was pretty spectacular. All right, that's it for this time. If you've got a question, go to my website, dinosaurgeorge.com. While you're there, check things out, become a friend of mine on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and sign up to get our free monthly newsletter. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves, take care of the people around you, and for you young people, always make sure to practice those reading skills, because being a good reader is going to be important to you when you get older. And for everybody, regardless of your age, please continue to use good manners. I will see you all again soon. Take care, everybody.